In the analysis we used images downloaded from the following sites: Charles Dyer's personal blog, New York City Council's Flickr.com page titled, NYPD Officers Honored for Military Service, found at the link provided in the description, and images pulled from PMASheriff.org's 2010 Sheriff Dupnook's Annual Awards PDF booklet. Available for download on their site or from WellAware1.com. The images downloaded from the City Council Flickr site contains the original meta information. This information was reviewed and confirmed the time and date the image was created. The meta information as per the type of camera and lens used matched what the photographer listed as such. That information was then fed into Photoshop, and used to correct the distortion caused by the lens, rendering the final image for us to work with. The images such as Dyer's marine photo show expected signs of retouching. This is expected with a studio shot intended for print. The only image modifications we are responsible for were removing the backgrounds, color correcting, proportional scaling, and resolution change, followed by the sharpen filter. It is standard practice to sharpen images after they have been resized. There has been no manipulation to the images that would render them not admissible as evidence in a court of law.
The following image analysis is designed to leave you without any question that the person that we see as Officer Lawrence Easton in the Pima County Sheriff Dupnook's book, as well as the photographs that were just recently found with the New York City Council Flickr account, also showing a person that is named Officer Lawrence Easton, is the same person that we are being told is Charles Dyer, the person that is wanted for the rape of a 7-year-old child and is also a high-level member of the Oath Keepers organization, showing that the organization known as the Oath Keepers is a fraudulent front and is being used and is designed to bring about civil disobedience and civil unrest on this country. This can be concluded by the fact that this person that we are looking at is not the person that they say he is, and in fact he is involved in the law enforcement community. This person is also a Marine. We know this because we can see the fact that he's receiving a medal or a commendation from Commissioner Kelly, and it has his name on it for service during wartime. So this in itself puts the Oath Keepers in the spotlight. Anyone associated with the Oath Keepers needs to either disassociate or explain themselves. We can hear from Mr. Dyer's own video testimony that his intentions are to bring about a violent conclusion to this event. We will play that video shortly. The three images you see in front of you are Officer Lawrence Easton, New York City Police Department. Photograph was taken in '09, as we can see the images labeled on the Flickr account. This is from the City Hall Commissioner Kelly's award ceremony. This image and this image are from Dyer's personal websites, which I'll put the links to all these down in the bottom in the description so you can download them for yourselves. If they do by any chance disappear, I will put them for download on my site. This image in particular, still, as I mentioned before, has the meta information, as well as all the commissioner photographs have the meta information where you can verify the authenticity of the photograph, when it was taken, the camera equipment used, and many more different aspects of this photograph that can be used to verify that it has not been manipulated whatsoever, except for the fact that it does show signs for being rotated, which is perfectly acceptable when it comes to the composition of the photograph. Now, these two are not in question. They are the same person because they come from the same site, his own personal site. We will notice something very particular on these photographs that link them all together is the fact that there's a blemish that was left by the retoucher. This proves right here a very good certainty that they are the same persons. Further examine these images. We will go into the ears later on. We will notice, take note right for now, that you can see the vein in the ear. This will become very important later on because you will see the vein in this ear, in this person's ear also, which will prove that they are the same person. Now, the glabella is the space between the eyebrows. You can see that it's the same. I've measured them. They are the same. The nose is the same width. Everything is the same on this person. This is absolutely, by measurement, by using the golden mean ruler with the ratios of 1 to 1.168, we can see that this face matches this face, and they all three are the same individual. Now, I've put these images together to show you something very, very specific. Most people, if they were just to see this person and this person, they would say, oh, well, his chin's different size. Well, you're forgetting that this photograph was taken in '07, this photograph was taken in '09, so there's a weight difference there. This is '07 also, so he was more fit when he was going into the Marine Corps than he was when he was in the police, currently in the police department. Now, people go, well, that's a soft tissue change. That's correct. We can still see that the structure underneath the chin, even though it looks smaller in this photograph, is the same from this photograph. So the argument that they couldn't be the same because the chin is different is moot, because we see that this is the same. Now, we'll go to some of the other photographs, but first let's look at this ear right here. This ear it appears to be that he had an earring possibly one time that was ripped out or suffered some type of soft tissue injury to his earlobe. This image is from Dyer's personal website, so we cannot argue that this is not Dyer, because it is. It's from his own site. If we notice the ear, it contains the very specific cut in the ear. We also notice it is the same shape, same size. It is exact. It is him. We notice the same cheek structure. We notice everything is the same. Although he is squinting, so that's going to pull his nostrils up, it is the same person. In these images, we are looking at this top level layer is one of the City Hall photographs taken in 2009. This image is from the Pima County Sheriff Dupnick's Award book, taken in 2009 or 10. Both of these people are listed as Lawrence Easton in the books. Remember, the image behind is a studio setting, so this person is sitting on a stool in front of the flag. We remove the background. So since he's sitting on a stool, the cameraman is almost head level and shooting straight on, even though the head is at a 3/4 view. This head is almost at a 3/4 view, but again, the cameraman was actually shorter than Easton, so we see an upward shot. It's going to change the perspective of the ear slightly and the perspective of the bottom of the nose. The foreshortening will change the earlobe and the outer edge, but this is, of course, expected. Now, let's change the opacity layer on the top to reveal the bottom layer. And as we slowly change it, let's zoom in. Notice the ear. That is the same structure. Now we'll bring the opacity level back up. The only change that we get is the outside here, and that's because of the angle is different and the perspective is different. But you can still see the same structure, the same lobe, same everything. Let's do it one more time so you can definitely make sure. That is 100% the same ear. No doubt about it. Now, let's take a look at the nose. Again, as I mentioned, there'll be a slight change to the pitch of it because of the camera angle. And also the image underneath it is, like I said, a studio setting, so it has very good lighting, so you won't get as much shadow as you do here. Shadows will change the perspective and will change the image a great deal, but we can still see with this it doesn't change it enough to throw it off. Now also pay attention to the teeth and to the mouth. Even though he's smiling a little bit more in the other photograph, we can still see that the teeth do align with each other. They do fit the golden equation. They are exactly the same proportion, and therefore we can conclude that this is the same person. Again, let's look at the chin. Eyes, everything are the same. Now, let's pull one of the images that we've already looked at. His marine photograph that comes from his own personal website, so there is no argument that this is Dyer, the person called Dyer. Now, what we can do, we can see, remember the angle is slightly different. We're looking at a straight on view here, and the cameraman is about the same height as him. And here the cameraman is shorter than him, so we will get a perspective change of the ear, a little bit of a foreshortening, but we can still see when we change the opacity level. That is the same ear. And more importantly, we'll change it back. What I mentioned before, there is the vein, there is the vein. Proof 100% that Lawrence Easton is in fact Charles Dyer, without a doubt, because this is Dyer, comes from his website. There's no argument with that. This is Easton, comes from the City Hall photograph. We see the same vein. We've proven the fact that they are the same individual. Here's that ear with the cut. Again, ear with the cut. This is from Dyer's own personal website, so you cannot deny that that is not him. It is him. We can conclude that Charles Dyer is the same person as Officer Lawrence Easton.
Marines are held to the highest standards, ethically and morally. Respect for others is essential. Marines are expected to act responsibly in a manner befitting the title they've earned. So why do we see this Marine taking part in a perception management campaign on the people of the nation he has sworn an oath to protect? In addition, he is a police officer who took an additional oath to protect and serve. His actions and statements, while appearing to be part of an organization such as the Oath Keepers, show disregard to not only the safety of the citizens of this country, but to the members of law enforcement that have to deal with the elevated tension he and his lies are causing. Listen carefully to the end of his video, where he makes a call for a violent uprising of the people, against his fellow peace officers, and government officials.
Just want to ask the American people to wake up, see what's going on around you, walk outside, stop playing your video games, stop watching TV. I'm not going to be hiding from my command anymore. I'm sure not hiding from APF, I'm not hiding from FBI, I'm not hiding from any organization. If they want to come take me, I'm not going to be afraid. If I'm afraid to that point, we're in a tyrannical government in the first place, and people need to rise up. At that point, there needs to be a violent revolution. At that point, there needs to be a violent revolution. Be a violent revolution. Be a violent revolution.
Knowing his true identity, and the fact that he and the Oath Keepers are the pioneers of this agenda-driven fraud. You must demand they be held accountable, as well as the officials that know this criminal act is taking place, and choose to allow it to continue. Let me repeat myself. Absolutely, no good will come from this event, if we allow it to reach its planned conclusion. They intend to use it to push political agenda, and line their pockets with blood money.